Let's welcome our host, Erica Wilson.
Great day, great day, great day, everyone. This is your girl, Erica Wilson, God's business partner, coming to you all the way from Atlanta, Georgia. And you're listening to the It Had to Happen Films with Erica Wilson podcast. Can we mute the others, please? Sorry about that, guys. I'm so sorry about that. Today, I have the honor to sit with my sisters, the beautiful Sandra Perryman, which is the mother of Denzel Perryman, and the beautiful Melissa Berry, which is the mother of Damian Berry. And we are the NFL moms, mothers of motivated sons. It Had to Happen Films with Erica Wilson presents NFL moms, mothers of motivated sons on the move, guys. NFL Moms is about a group of ladies fellowshipping and coming together as a family to help our children through those trials and tribulations that sports can possibly and naturally bring. Moms play an integral role in building a foundation that supports motivated and the best athletes. Although our journeys may be different, we all have been molded and blessed to share our behind the scenes stories with you all. Our goal is to provide safe, nurturing, and productive environment by being intentional, inspiring, and empowering. And our slogan is God bless us to bless others. And today's topic is acknowledging the fans, win or lose. Let me ask you a question. If you ever were in any type of business, how important not just your fans, but your clients, your customers, is to you. And that's what we want to speak today here on It Had to Happen for, NFL moms acknowledging fans win or lose. So today I'm going to bring my beautiful sisters on the screen with me. The beautiful Sandra Perryman and the beautiful Melissa Berry. Welcome, 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 ladies.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, everyone.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. We all know that in this day, in sports, we know that God is number one, right? He's the head and the source of it all, but the fans are a very integral part of the sports as well because, that's how some of the coaches, I mean, all the coaches, the kids, and I mean, our young men and staff get paid, right? So what would you say about the fans acknowledging them and being showing gratitude towards them, winning or losing? We could be we could have a big loss, but here it is. We have these fans that's out there waiting for our kids to come out, right? And we just walk past them, or they just walk past them and not acknowledge them. How do you ladies feel about that? Like, what should our kids do, win or lose, when
I
it
think
comes
win.
to?
I
Go
think
ahead,
win
Sissy.
or lose. Go ahead, Sissy.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I think win or lose, any athlete should continue to be humble and show their appreciation to the fans because, again, like you said, the fans are out there to support them, and then without them, it wouldn't be possible. So, rather you win the game or you lose the game, still show your gratitude to the fans.
Absolutely.
True,
Yes.
true. And I
Sissy
just,
Melissa.
you know, I want to just piggyback off of that what Sissy Sandra said because win, lose, or draw, you still have to be a good sportsman and you have to
Mhm.
show good sportsmanship. And what they have to understand is that there are youngsters, you know, as well as adults, but more so the youngsters that are watching this, that, see, how they handle different situations. And, you don't want to shed a negative light on anything that you may do because, people take that quickly and they run with that and they use that against them. But if you're always, if even if you lost the game, nobody should ever know how upset you were. You know,
Mhm.
you tell them, okay, well, next time we got to just do better. So
Mhm.
that when kids grow up and they see, okay, they don't want, you don't want them to say, oh, it's okay to lose, but you know, but you try your best, you do your best.
Right.
And so they'll see their favorite players, you know, yeah, they lost the game, but you know, he still had a good attitude. You know,
Right.
he didn't shun the people because, you know, they lost the game. You know, and I've seen that happen countless times. So, you know, that's something,
Yeah,
you know, that will not be tolerated by us.
exactly. I
Absolutely.
agree.
Yeah. So, what would you ladies do? Say, for instance, because you know that we always go down with our kids after the game, meet and wait for them to come out. And what would you do if you saw your kid, or your young man, and this kid was just, oh, Denzel, Damian, Allen, or whatever, and they just felt that they didn't have a good game, and they just walked past that kid? What would your conversation be like to your son, if you saw that?
um, I don't know what the conversation would be because I don't think Denzel would do that. So
Right.
it's
Hmm.
hard for me to speak on that because he just wouldn't do it regardless of if he messed up the game or if they lost the game, he still would, show his appreciation towards the fan.
Okay.
Hypothetically speaking, I will, you know, and
Yeah.
I'm like Sissy, you know, Damien wouldn't do it, but if he got crazy that day or whatever, you know, I wouldn't embarrass him, but I would get
Right.
close enough to him and say, hey, you know, that you see that little boy over there, he was waiting, or you see that man, or you see that young person, whoever it was,
Hmm.
waiting
Right.
for you to come out. You need to acknowledge them.
Mm,
And you know, I would say it in a way that nobody else would know it. You know, even when I'm hugging him,
right.
I would say, "Hey, that little boy over there waiting. You know, you need to go over there and hug him, or give your wristbands or whatever." But
Hmm.
nobody would ever know it. I would do it
Right.
discreetly.
Right.
Hmm. Wow. And you know what? That is so awesome that we both, we both, all three of us, we feel like our kids will not do it. Well, we know they won't do it
Hmm.
because, not just they have a love for the game, they
Right.
understand they have a love for their fans. They understand that the fans are, important part of them playing out there, but here it is, you have now, and I experienced this, and this is why I'm asking you ladies, what happens if you have this fan out there, right? And it's a grown one, you know. You have the grown one, and then you have the kid that's there, right? And he
Hmm.
has
Mm-hmm.
tons of things that he want our guys to sign. You know where I'm going? She started laughing already. And they have tons of. I mean, he has tons of things that he want our kids to sign. But then you have this little kid just waiting patiently, you know, and what would you like? How would you? What can I say? Like, how would you approach the situation? Because I did it. I approached the situation, and I just asked the man. I say, "Sir, could he please go ahead and tend to the kids?" And the guy actually got really upset. So, how would you, handle that in that situation? You have tons of things, and this kid is waiting right here, just like and he just want a simple hello or a conversation with our kids. How would you handle that?
Well, I probably would have Denzel like sign one or two things from the adult person, and then
Mm-hmm.
proceed to go to the younger kid, to the younger person, and
Mm.
if time permits, have him go back to that person and continue to sign whatever else that he had.
Mm, okay.
All right, sissy, you good? Because I would say, okay, one item, and that's it. Let's move on. Because we all
Yeah.
know what they do with them.
Yeah, yeah.
So you sign one item because, like Sissy said, they have helmets, they have footballs, they have 20 pictures. You know, they have a jersey, they have a towel, they have a shoe. They have all of these things, and other people are waiting. And I think that's just really inconsiderate.
Yes.
That they would just hog up all the time because those players want to leave, just like they've been out there on that field and they want to leave too. So they don't want to
Hmm.
be
That's
Right.
it.
if you want to. Next time you won't get a signature. You won't get a signature next time. So
Right.
you choose.
That's so true. I don't know if it's my end, but do it sound a little grainy? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
You can
Yes,
hear me?
I'm
Because
fine.
when Melissa's talking, it sounded a little staticky. Can
What
you
the,
hear that?
the area I'm in?
I think it's the
Do
area
you?
she's riding through.
Okay, okay. Well, piggybacking off of what Sissy Melissa said. Yes, Sissy, that's what normally happens. And I accept, and one of the guys that, I knew that that's what he do because he had like this big binder and he had tons of pictures of them and he wanted every one of them signed. And I was just like, hey, you have this kid here, would you mind if my son go over to the next person? But to have them to go back, you have other people
Right.
that's there, so you want to try to be respectful of their time too. They're tired, they just came off from playing and they want to show love to
Mm-hmm.
everybody, so this one person just can't take up everything. So regardless if he got mad or not, hey, look, it is what it is. You have
Yeah.
other people out here just like you're out here, sir. And me personally, if it was me and I saw a kid there, come on. You know what I'm saying? If you had just put yourself, we're gonna put ourselves in the fans'
Mm-hmm.
shoes, right? And just
Mm-hmm.
say you was a mother and you saw your kid standing. I mean, you was the mother and you saw your kid standing there, and this guy with all of these things, and he want all these things signed. How would you feel seeing your kid sitting there waiting patiently, but here it is, this guy have tons of things that he wants signed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Mm, mm, I don't know. You guys hear that? I'm so sorry about the technical issues we're having here, but it sounds like we can. Sissy saying, can you say something, please?
Let me see if I can
Hi,
put my
hi,
AirPods
can
in.
you hear me?
Perfect. I hear you perfect. Um, Pedro,
I
we're
think
having.
it's the area where I think it's the area that she's in.
Okay.
Let me see if I can put my AirPods on and see if that'll work.
Okay, so while we're waiting for Sissy Melissa, we're going to jump into the importance of the fans in sports. So, Sissy, what would you say is the most important part? I mean, most important for the fans, you know, um, supporting our kids. So it says here, sports connects fans to others, right? And it
Hmm.
says, which satisfies a human need for belonging. Do you feel that that's true?
Um, let's see. Yes, to a certain extent, yes. I think like we said earlier, without the fan support, then the game would just be the game. The kids wouldn't, I don't think
Mm,
the athletes would have nothing to really play for. Although they love the game, I think the
yeah,
crowd and the fans hype the athletes even more.
yeah,
It gives them that extra spunk. Not that they're not enthusiastic about the game, but I think it does something to the athletes to get that
mhm,
additional support from fans and not just family and friends.
right.
So
Mhm.
yes.
Totally agree. So it says, what is the importance of fans in sports, Sissy Melissa? It says, sports connects fans to others, which satisfies a human need for belonging. What do you think about that?
Yeah, like Sissy said, yes, to a certain extent, because, I guess I would say the adrenaline, the rush that they
Mm,
get, hearing all these thousands of people yelling and screaming and going crazy,
Hmm.
at the stadium, just watching them, it gives them that extra, you know,
right.
that,
Hmm.
they appreciate that, that's their way of saying, we really appreciate, you guys coming out and supporting us. So they want to go out and perform to their highest level,
Yeah.
Hmm.
and so I think, yeah, the fans have a, impact has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, and then too, we're not just gonna talk just on the pro level because y'all know how we was when we was
Oh
out there.
Lord, at my God.
You
Yeah.
already know how it go. Even the optimists leading up to high school, leading up to college. So we all know how that go. And again, and that's one of the things. Like going back to all of us, our kids being at the University of Miami when they used to rock those buses, and then they used to have that cane walk, and they're walking down, and they're showing the fan, even though they know that they're on time, because they had, they were being timed. They had to get to their locker room to do whatever it is they needed to
Mhm.
do. However, they still made sure that they showed the fans love doing
Mhm.
so, and they showed up in numbers. And I say, to me, I think the after crowd would be the best part for me is on the college level. Man,
Mhm.
those cane walks was everything. So, what would you say on your pro level or on your college level or optimist? High school, which one?
I would say college level.
Yeah.
Uh,
College level.
I would say a mixture of high school and college because high school, man, high school was like really, 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 as the young people say now, it was really lit. So, I really, really, truly enjoyed that. And then it was, then on to college, it just got even better.
Yeah.
Because I would say they were more accessible to us. We were
Hmm.
able to access them a whole lot more in, high school and in college. But once they got to the pros, the accessibility wasn't as easy.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So, but yeah, I could never make we never did the walk when Damien was there, but everything else outside of that, the tailgating, because in high school they tailgated. We tailgated in high school. So
Oh, okay.
everything we yes, we did it. We did it. Everything prepared him for the next level. So
Oh,
it
okay.
was lovely. And it was phenomenal.
Oh my God. Wow. We did not
Yeah.
tailgate in high school.
Oh
No.
wow. Yeah. We
Um,
did.
but what I did like though, in high school is that, how once the game is over, it was tons of people everywhere,
Hmm.
from both sides of the ball. Afterwards, whoever was the winning team, and they came out and they just had such a great time. But back in our days, do y'all remember? In our days, they went over to McDonald's on 183rd and 27th Street, and everybody just met there, and it was a huge, huge party. But I remember when Alan was coming out of high school, I mean, was in high school, it was whole people from everywhere. The whole school was literally packed afterwards. But to me, I love the cane walk. See those guys pull up in that bus, and that bus that's rocking, like, looking like it was gonna tip over. Sissy, remember?
Yeah.
And they
Mhm.
get out and they just so hyped about everything. So, yeah, I can say it's definitely a mixture. But college, whew, I love that cane walk. I really
Yeah.
truly did. So
you
thinking
know,
of, go ahead.
go ahead, sis. I experienced it with Keon when he went to Tallahassee, when they played in Tallahassee, and he was playing, and he did tell me about. He's like, man, ma, the bus was rocking. I was like, what? He was like, yeah, man, ma, it was so much fun. He kind of alluded to that when he went to the Florida State game, how
Mhm.
and that just did something to him. So yeah, I can
Mm,
remember Keon saying it, but I could never get there on time for the walk because I was always late. So
listen, we used to be out there, but see that bus used to look like it was
Mhm.
going to tilt
Like it
over.
was gonna tip
That's how,
over.
yeah, right.
Mhm.
And boy, when they got off that bus, they were
Mhm.
so hyped. But I didn't know that they actually do it on away games. I thought it was just home games. Sissy Sandra, did you know that?
No. I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
they did
Wow.
it in Tallahassee. hmm
Oh, wow.
When Keon was there, yeah, he told me they did it in Tallahassee that they were rocking the bus. At the Florida State game.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. I
I was like,
never
okay,
that. That's something to think
okay.
about.
Mm-hmm.
So we spoke
Mhm.
about how the fans, being very, very important, in sports. But what happens? We're gonna speak now about when the pandemic hit and there were no fans in the stand. You know,
Oh wow.
how would you say is a great way, even though there was no fans in the stands and there was no autographs to be signed, what would you say would be a great way for our kids to reach the fans?
Oh, it's a good question.
Mhm.
um, they do everything on social media, so I would say social media.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Social media,
Mhm.
of course the fans follow them, so they probably could be sitting at home or just anywhere and just pick up the phone and do a live. Hey
Mhm.
Raiders
Mhm.
fans, hey, Cowboys fans, or whatever team they're with. Just Denzel Perryman giving a shout out to let although we're in a pandemic, I still want to show you all love and we'll be back.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Whatever kind of message it is that they want to relay, but I would say social media.
Mm-hmm. Totally agree. What
That's
would you?
awesome. Mhm. Me too. Same. 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 I totally agree with that.
Yeah. And another thing too, even when before the pandemic hit, what I did was I got a PO box. And if the fans
Mhm.
want to write into that PO box, we had tons and tons, especially when Allen got hurt.
Oh wow.
Mhm.
Excuse me. We had tons and tons of get wells, cards, whatever it was, notes, letters and things like that. So I got a PO box. So that's actually a good idea. Um,
Mhm.
so the fans can, be able to get their things. And
To
then
stay in touch.
stay in touch. There you go, Sissy. Stay in touch and then
Mhm.
get their things autographed and get it sent back out to them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Right. Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So I actually did that in Dallas, and that was like okay. And you have a chance, like in your downtime, when they have
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
downtime, because our kids don't get much downtime
No. No.
pro
No.
level, you know. So
No.
and so let's move on to the next question. So how would you say the fans motivate our sons?
Huh. Um, I would say just to hear their name.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Nice, nice hit or nice play, and they just call our kid's name. I
Mhm.
think that motivates them to even do better on the next play.
Right.
So true.
Right. Right. Yeah. That's true. And I would say also, by them, wearing their jerseys,
Mm-hmm.
representing them, by wearing their jerseys and stuff like that too, I would think it does them well to look up and see, you're somebody with your jersey on.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that, kind of motivates them as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with both of you all, and also too, when they come out of that after a game, win or lose, to see those fans still out there supporting them, loss,
Mm-hmm.
to see
Yeah.
those fans still
Hmm.
out there supporting them. So that's another added bonus, to motivate
Hmm.
the our sons. And someone saying screaming names and holding signs, absolutely, because
Yeah.
I know they have that fat head.
Yeah. That head.
Hmm.
I said the fat hair figure at the U, but again, that's so. And then, what is it like for you as a mother to see you sitting in the stands, and hear these fans just loving on your children? Now we're gonna start with the good one first, and then we're gonna jump over to what. But how is that for you to hear how much love that these fans are showing your children or your
It,
child?
it makes me feel good.
Hmm.
It makes me feel good to just know that there are other people out there that love him just as much and supports him just as much as I do.
Hmm.
Yes, absolutely. What would you say, Sissy?
Yeah, it gives you warm fuzzies,
Mm-hmm.
knowing that, it's like, okay, so and that kind of says, okay, well, we did something right,
Mm-hmm.
we
Mm-hmm.
did something right, and and we get to pat ourselves on the back, and say, girl, you did a good job. Dad, you did a good job. Family, you did a
Mm-hmm.
great job.
Right.
And so that's the most important thing.
Mm-hmm. And then too, not only that, just to see them loving on our kids, not while they're just on the field, but
Mm-hmm.
giving them the
In the
praise.
mall. Hmm.
There you go,
Mm-hmm.
giving them the praises outside. Because let me tell you,
Hmm.
one time when Alan played in London, I didn't even know the people knew who Alan was over there. And by me just going out to their parade, it was people approaching me. That thing
Hmm.
made me feel so good just to say, he how not just he was a great player, but he was just to them was a great person.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that thing makes you feel so good, don't it?
Hmm.
Yes,
Hmm.
it does.
Hmm.
It does.
Oh,
Hmm. It
whoa.
really does. It really does. I can give, one example too. When um Miami played in Tampa at UCF one year, and after the game was over, I think Damien had a pretty good game that game, and we had these people like following behind us singing this song about DB. You don't know about me, what you know about me, or something like this, and I'm saying, who is these people following us? You know, when we were leaving the game, and they were Caucasian, so I'm trying to figure out. I was like, Jay, you know them? He was like, no, Mom, I don't know them. So after it was all said and done, they came over. And it was like 20 of my family members, and then they came over. It was about 10 of them. So we just, Damien stopped and we took pictures with them. They took pictures with, my whole entire family. They had T-shirts on with his name on. So that just really,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
that made me feel really good. And, and we developed a relationship with them. Right outside of that, we came really close with
Yeah,
them
Wow.
to
that
this
is.
day, actually. Yeah.
See, that's awesome. That
Mm-hmm.
is awesome to be able to experience something like. And you didn't even say um, pro level. This was his collegiate years, right?
College.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
My
Mm-hmm.
God.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that
He was
is
at
so.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all. So we're gonna move on to
Yeah.
yeah, sitting in the stands. Your kid may have made a mistake in the game, because you're gonna have some good games, you're gonna have some bad games.
Mm-hmm.
But you're sitting in those stands, whether it was whatever level, it don't just have to be the pro level. But you're sitting in those stands and you hear someone just ragging on your son. How would you feel?
Um, Dad handled that part for me. And
All right,
if,
bro.
I'm
Wait a
sure
minute.
he's on here,
I
so
could.
write in and tell how you handled that. Yeah, you don't like to hear that
Okay.
either.
I was having technical difficulties. I couldn't hear. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, while we waiting for her to come back on, but Sissy, that's great that Dad was able to handle that for you. But moving, I'm gonna come back to that. But Kimberly Harris, my sissy says, screaming names, holding signs. She said it feels great and support is important. It's very, very
It is.
important. But you're there supporting your son, right? You don't want to hear nobody bragging on your son and saying, whatever it is that just being reckless,
Mm-hmm.
just being reckless. And I remember when we were young, what was the saying? Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words could never hurt.
Mm-hmm.
That is the biggest myth, right?
Mm-hmm.
The biggest myth. Because I remember being in
True.
when Alan, I remember being when Alan was with the Jaguars. We was in playing the Patriots. And okay, they was winning at first, and Jaguars came back and started beating them. And very, very quiet, very, 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 very quiet when Jaguars started beating. So this young man comes out of nowhere and he goes, "Oh, Alan Hearns need to take his G-strings off." I looked back at him and I said, "Excuse me?" Oh man, he what I can't remember exactly what he said verbatim, but he was just ragging on Alan. Before I y'all, I lost all of my Christianity. The girl, the young lady with me, she had to say, I don't curse, so I didn't say a curse word, but I definitely was ready to lay some hands on him. I didn't care if it was male or female. And he just, I mean, right in my ear, it just kept going on about Alan Hurst, Alan Hurst, Alan Hurst, and things like that. And I just couldn't contain myself. And the young lady, she was like, "Missy, please." And we was right. We were so close to where the place was. I'm sure some of the coaches and maybe the players heard what was going on. But at that time, Mother Bear, come on, y'all know how to go. You know, Alyssa spoke last about, when Keon was at the softball game, I think it was, and he was bothering him. But that motherly instinct, it really kicks in. And you don't, sometimes you can block that stuff out, but boy, I couldn't block it. What you say about that, Melissa?
Right.
What would you say
about I tell you all the time, these hands are rated E for anybody when it comes to my kids. So, I try to, like you said, we try to ignore.
Yeah.
But you can only ignore so much. If you keep going on and on and on, okay, you want a response from me, and I'm gonna give you a response. It may not be one you like, but I'm gonna give you a response. My husband will say, "Babe, don't say anything." "Oh no, babe, go get you some popcorn or something to eat, and I'm gonna deal with them while you're gone." So no, I don't play like that. I don't. I really don't. I have zero tolerance for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. So since he said, I'm going to just give you, what if bro wasn't there? What if he walked off to get a soda or something? Like Sissy said, some popcorn or something. And you hear this person just in the back of you, and just carrying on. How would you handle that?
Strike one. Strike two. Third strike.
You're out.
It's it. And then I just have to deal with what the media says. Oh, Perryman moms goes off on fan in the stand, and I'll deal with that. But,
yes, I did. Right.
Yeah. They're not boy.
Yeah.
Mothers about our children. Ooh.
Yes.
And the biggest thing is, the biggest thing for me is, if we were, and I rebuke it in the name of Jesus, but if we were to paparazzi or whoever they may be, everybody have phones ready to record some stuff, right? So just say someone see us acting out of line, because we know one thing: when our kids enter into this world, even in the college level, they told us basically our lives are not our lives. Whatever we do reflects on our children. So if someone were to do this, it's not going to be Denzel Perryman. Sandra Perryman. It's not going to be Melissa Berry. It's not going to be Erica Wilson. It's going to be our kid's name, like we don't have an identity. You understand? Mom. You see?
That's right.
And
that's right.
I think that's one of the things that kind of saved a lot of people when it came to me. Because I didn't want Alan Hearns' mom, X, Y, and Z. But hey.
Right. The negative.
Yeah, definitely. So
sometimes, you know what? Record. Get me. I said, yeah, sometimes you have to just say record. Get me.
Yeah.
But you know what, too? And that's what I was saying to someone, even with, and this is jumping off the topic, but this is the realest thing, because Sissy, you getting ready to come up on your event. I was just telling someone when we were having our event, we have to be also careful even with having these events, because some people are really looking for a check, and they could come at your event and just say they slip and fell, they hurt themselves. You want to make sure you're covered. You understand? Even though, like 88 Blessings, Alan's name is nowhere on that. He's just a brand ambassador, right? Is Damien's name on your organization, sis? Melissa? See, here's that. No, and that's the
Nope.
thing. And what we have to do is cover ourselves, our children, and all of our affiliates. Because again, if someone come and they get hurt, boom. You think they're gonna come after you, Sissy Sandra?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
No. So that's what we have to be also
Nope.
careful with that as well. So my Norma here, she says real fans and decent people aren't rude and will speak up. Ah, yeah. Mhm. That's so true. But what we're going to do now, because we know that we have some amazing sons, not just amazing sons, our sons are very.
I knew
I'll say I just be
That's
ready
Denzel.
for
his
that's
dad.
that's dad.
Oh, this is that.
Hmm.
Mhm.
You
See, he
know,
sound like me.
yeah,
Yes, is he?
We
yeah,
can hang together.
you know, hey, because it's yeah. Make one
Mhm.
mistake,
Yeah.
just make one mistake and you can kind of see how some of the fans really feel, and just
Mhm.
to hear them bragging on these children, like not even knowing that they're people, they're human.
Mhm.
They're gonna make some mistakes. They're not gonna
Mhm.
every game is not gonna be a good game, a great game,
Right.
but just know that how many downs you played, sir?
Yep.
How many
Mhm.
times did you sacrifice your body out there on the field, sir?
Yeah.
You
I
know,
totally agree.
so
Exactly.
and sometimes, oh boy, yeah, that was really bad in Boston, I must say. Yeah. But
Wow.
Mhm.
again, we just trying to protect our children.
That's
But
right.
we're here live today with your girl Erica Wilson and my beautiful sissies Melissa Berry and Sandra Perryman. We are the NFL moms, mothers of motivated sons. And as you all can see, you're going to see the reason why we say what we say by watching this video. So if we could go ahead and get the video played, this is where our kids are interacting with others. And this is what makes a difference. This says a lot. You can say what you want, but actions speak louder than words.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Oh, it's okay. Oh. Thank y'all so much. Wait, everybody look this way. I have some gentlemen that work really hard. Y'all coming up for Mr. Ryan? We need celebrities. We are celebrity people. Okay. My God. Look out, look out. This was dead. DJ, you gotta do your 50 dance. Show I got with the boy. Shit, she showed him. She chilling. We didn't even put her on. Look out, look out.
Okay, sissies, as you can see, our kids out there signing autographs, doing different things like that. I'm going to speak about, each one of us is going to have a chance to speak about what meant for us and what exactly did our kids do that day. I remember the video that we showed, we were at Walmart, and this young man, he saw Alan from across the way. We didn't even see him coming. But he saw Alan from a distance and had his mom to come over there. So when his mom came over, She began to tell Alan a story about her son and how her son looked up to Alan and things like that. Come to find out, I had met this lady on a house that I was getting ready to purchase, and I met her and began to speak, and she never even knew Alan was my son until that day. And Alan promised her son that I'll show up to your birthday party, and the kid was like, "Are you serious?" And he really couldn't talk because you saw him there crying, right? So that day, when Alan did show up to his birthday party, we also had an event in the park for our 88 Blessings families. And that's when you saw Alan out there playing with the kids. So he had like a full day where he just dedicated, to the kids and showed the kids so much love. And then we're also going to speak about us because we, honestly speaking, we gain fans as well. So what do you do when you gain these fans, and how do you interact with them? So I decided I want to get out there, even though my bones ache later. I decided to get out there and try to play football. Kids, and boy, did I pay for it. But let me tell you something, that was a good paying for it because the kids were amazed that I could get out there and catch the ball. And I wasn't fast. I thought I was, but they just was amazed for me to be out there with them, even Alan and things like that. So tell about what you just saw in the video and how important that was to you, and about a time when you gain a fan or two or three or plenty, because you do, honestly speaking.
Oh, you want to go, Cece? Or you want me? You go. Okay, I'll go. Well,
Okay, say that again.
no, I say I thought you was gonna go, so I was waiting. But the time where I was in Vegas at the Raiders practice, and to see Denzel actually sign each one of those fans, autograph a football, a helmet, a shirt, or whatever it was, it made me feel really good. And then sitting in the stands to hear other people, say how humble he was, and you know, it was a good thing that he was doing. And I actually met one of the staff from the Raiders, and we exchanged numbers and started talking the whole time while I was in Vegas, and since I've been back. So she actually is I think she's the clinician, and she was saying that she's there to help the team, but Denzel helped her out as well. So we just grew a bond and just started talking, and been talking ever since.
Awesome. See, that's yes. Love, love, love it.
Good.
Love it. So what would you say, Sissy Melissa? Did you hear the question?
I didn't see the entire video. Yeah, I did, but I didn't see the entire video. I had technical difficulties, so I
Okay,
didn't
well,
see
just
the
speak
entire
about what.
video. But go ahead.
No, I'm saying just speak about one of your highlights of a fan, basically. It's city, I know.
I I wouldn't say mine wouldn't be I really didn't have any fans that I dealt with per se when he was in Baltimore, but like I stated, in Miami we had countless ones that we had this one. He was an attorney, and his son wanted an autograph from Damien, and Damien's first year there, and Damien autographed his ball, and like he was the last one off the field, and his son stayed there until Damien came off the field. Damien signed that he took so many pictures of Damien, and he he and his wife ended up making like a collage of photos, and to this day we still have contact with him as well. We they are season ticket holders, and we always get a chance when we go down, we hang out with them in their box, And so that's, Noah, I think, was like 5 then. Noah has graduated from high school and he's now in college. So
Sorry.
we we have a really good relationship with him, with the parents.
And this is why I say that this show is
So
so
that's
we all can come from different aspects. Like Sissy, you came from training camp. I came from off the field. Melissa, you came with the collegiate level when you had, that
mhm,
experience. So that's why I feel like this show is very, very important.
mhm,
That we can all come, tell different stories. Because like I said in the beginning, yeah, we're in the same position. However, we had different walks and had different experiences, and that's why it's so important to get here and
mhm.
share and try to shed lights for other mothers, not just at the pro level, whether your
Right.
kid is in high school, optimist, college, wherever, just shed some light, so you guys can really see the behind the scenes stuff. And one thing you're going to get here is realness. We're not going to try to sugarcoat anything. You're going to
Right.
just, what you see is what you get. And that's one of the things that I love too about both of my sissies. There's no judgment zone here. Love on one another, for real, for real. And that's just it. So, but sissies, I'm telling you, this here, this is one of the things that like touched me. And by us being, and we all on social media, some may not be on more than others, and I'm learning to kind of wean myself off because sometimes, things that you see there, it definitely can poke you. Just like if you were sitting in those stands to hear those people saying things about your son,
Mhm.
right? So you're seeing these things on social
Right.
media,
Right.
and I remember a time when one of the young men said, "Our kids are nothing without them." Ah, the devil is a liar. The devil is a liar. We know that you guys are very, very important. Yes, you are. But God is our source. It all belongs to Him. He blessed our kids,
Mhm.
the staff, the coaches. All of that is talent that He loaned to all of them. So we know that if it
Right.
wasn't for
Right.
Him blessing us, and even you as a fan, even me when I was a fan of many ball players, whatever it may be, I know that, here it is. Come on, guys. That's a gift too. You understand? It takes
Right.
loyalty to be
Mhm.
a true diehard fan. The good, the bad, the ugly.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And
it takes that. It takes a lot to be that as well. So when you see these comments coming up on social media, and these people just saying, not just even when the media is predicting stuff, right? Oh, well, this person is about to be traded, or this person has done this, and or say something comes up, and they don't focus on the good that our kids have done. They want to just focus on the bad. Prime example when the young man lost his life, the one who got hit from the Steelers and died.
Mhm.
It was a reporter had a nerve. It had nothing to do with what happened to this young man. He had a nerve to rag on him. So as a parent, praise be unto God, and God forbid we ever have to face that. But a grieving parent have to read this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, how
Mhm.
it say for instance, it was someone that was close to you. How would you encourage? We're not going. I don't even want to touch that one. Just say we had a mother that's getting ready to enter the league, and she we may just want to tell her some of the do's and the don'ts, right? And try to explain to her about social media and how cool it could be. What would be your words of encouragement to her?
Stay off of social media. Don't even look at the comments. Don't even entertain
That's
it.
it.
That's simple because it was told to me, my own son. Mom,
Yes,
don't
sir.
listen to that. I'm not worried about that. Stay off of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And and I did. At first it was hard because you don't want to hear anything about your kid. regardless of what it is. So my advice
Right.
would be to just leave it alone, because you know what's going on with your child.
Right.
The outside don't, so they're just going to take a little bit and just add more to it.
Mm.
So just stay off of it.
Okay. Sissy Melissa,
That's right.
you would say the
I would
same?
say, my husband always says, you're only as yeah, and my husband says you're only as good as your last good deed. So, people forget your last good deed. So,
Mhm.
when something newsworthy comes up, you definitely don't want to be, in the mix of it, because as mothers, those emotions began to stir, and
Mhm.
you don't want to, respond in a way, you don't want them to get you out of character, because very easily you can get out of character with some of them,
Mhm.
some of the things that they are saying. So, like Sissy said, just stay off of it. Just stay
Mm-hmm.
off of it. And I heard somebody say you just have to have alligator skin. That stuff, it has to just have tough skin and not allow those things to rub you the wrong way.
So true. Okay, so you both say stay off of social media, right?
Mhm.
But we all know that we have family. We all know that we have friends. We all know that we have people that's on social media. Social media is just people voicing their opinions. Yep, totally, totally agree. Totally, totally agree. And not just social media is people just voicing their opinions. That goes too when they're in the stands. They're just voicing their opinions, but it still hurt,
Mhm.
hearing them say that, but here it is. You have these people that's saying all of these things on social media. You may not be on, but someone may bring it back to you. And we know that that happens a whole
Mhm.
lot. you know.
Mhm.
Um, so how would you say by blocking? What would be your words to that mother if someone was to bring that to her?
Just like you tell them to stay off of social media. Tell them don't bring nothing negative to you about your child.
Exactly.
There you go.
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
don't want to hear it.
Right,
Exactly.
right. That's
Exactly.
it. Yeah.
Mhm.
So you would say the same to
Hmm.
Melissa? Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Uh huh. Because I'm telling you, certain people know not to tell me nothing.
I know that's right.
Hmm.
Uh-uh.
Don't
Do
come
it.
to me with it. Hmm.
Don't do it. That's the
And
crazy.
it,
All out with me through my children.
and if you know me and they
Exactly.
bringing you something about my child, then you handle the situation. Don't tell me.
There you go.
You nip it in the bud.
Exactly. What did you do about it? That's
Hello,
right.
That
That's
part.
right.
somebsomebody. That is
Yeah.
so true. But
Exactly.
we want you all to know if there are any fans that's under the sound of our voice, we're forever grateful for each and every one of you. Not just because our sons are in the at the pro level. However, just by being on here listening to our behind the scenes stories, we're grateful for you all. However, there's things that has to be done, decency and in order, and again, just be very, very careful of they're humans. Our kids are humans. We all are
Hmm.
humans. We all fall short of the glory, But who are we to downplay when somebody else's fall? Downplay somebody else's fall. That should
Mhm.
be a time when we're lifting them up, people of God, lifting them up because you never
Hmm.
know what they're dealing with. Our kids deal with a lot of
Yes.
things
Yes.
behind the scene, on and off the field. And I
Yes.
had a young lady to say to me one time, she said, let me tell you something. The mental have to be on point
Yes.
because our kids are not, is one, they're fighting for their job.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Two, they have to take care of home. You
Mhm.
understand?
Hmm.
Three, they definitely have to keep their bodies in shape.
Mhm.
You understand? And then they have to not find, because that should be the number one thing. They have to have a relationship with who, ladies?
God, with God, first and
Yeah.
foremost.
Go
Yeah.
first and
Mhm.
foremost.
Foremost.
So our kids are human.
Mm-hmm.
They deal with the whole lot. Encourage them,
Mm-hmm.
even on their bad days. Even on their good days, encourage
Mm-hmm.
them.
Mhm.
Because they need it. And I saw on a reel on one of those talk shows, it was an older guy who played in the league, and he was talking about how much he was suffering, ladies. Could you imagine, because of some of the things that the fans were saying and doing, the mental
Mhm.
aspect of it?
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And by
Mhm.
hearing this guy talk about this, I'm saying to myself, whoa, did Alan ever deal with that? Do you ladies ever think about that?
Yeah, I do. Because they're
I'm
human, like you said, and,
right.
and they have feelings.
Hmm.
Mhm.
They have
And,
feelings.
and people in the in this society, people are rude anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So we just have to teach them. Well, we've taught them. From little league on up
Mm-hmm.
that regardless of what people say or do or don't do, you don't allow them to damage your self-esteem. They don't validate who you are.
Exactly.
Just because they feel like you sorry or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
that's no validation for you. It,
Mm-mm.
it, it doesn't matter what they think. Because at the end of
Yep.
the day, as long as God is pleased, it doesn't matter what people think.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And so, as long as we instill that in them at a young age, then, sometimes it may catch them off guard because, like you said, Sissy, they're human.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But, in the recesses of their mind, that Holy Spirit to bring it back to them, it's like, remember what your mama said?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's what we have to, and always, like Sissy said, once again, to be there to encourage them. If there's something that they're dealing with, hey, we're here. If you don't feel like you can talk to us, find somebody that you can trust
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
and talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. We're right at 1 minute, and I do not want to leave without this question. So, what I want you ladies to tell me one of the hurtful moments for you that you experienced on any level from a fan.
Oh.
So, if you guys want to marinate on that, I have mine up front. I know. And
I
most
got to
hurtful
Okay,
one,
marinate.
go ahead.
the one most hurtful one for me was when Allen had that injury in Dallas. And they were mimicking his foot being in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Mm,
They made the
mm,
biggest joke. That thing hurted me some kind of bad. To know that your kid is out hurt the way, dealing with this injury, hurt like that, and to see all of these jokes people were giving, that was the most hurtful one for me. So, what would you say, Sissy Melissa?
Sister Sandra, if you're ready, you can go because I
I'm,
really
look, I'm
don't have
still thinking. I
to
can't.
think of.
I I
Yeah, I don't
really
have
don't
one.
know. I think for me would be when Denzel had a lot of injuries because they were non-contact. You heard the negative comments on social media, but I didn't. I can't recall hearing a fan say anything. While I was at a game, I can't recall.
No, no, not while you're at a game. I'm just saying, like, what was like something that stood out to you or hurt your feelings after you heard it on any level, not just the pro level, on any level.
Well, it
Nothing.
will be that when
Yeah.
being hurt with them, his injuries were mostly like non-contact. So I think it would be the negative comments that the fans were saying on social media.
Yeah. So, Sissy Melissa, you
Hmm.
have one?
I would say maybe high school because Damien played um at Suncoast his first 2 years in high school, and then he transferred to back to Belgrade to my home high school, and he came in and he immediately started, and I heard one of the fans say, because they, the other fans were saying, well, why don't they give number 20 the ball? Why don't they let 20 run the ball? And they were like, wanting him to run the ball, but then one of the other parents was like, well, he needs to go back where he came from. And of course, my head was on a swivel, and it immediately turned around. And I said, I can't help because your son is not doing his job. So tell him to do his job, and nobody wouldn't be asking for Damien to be on the field.
Amen.
So now that's a good way to end the show, because you know why? We're gonna come back to this, because again, when you have those experiences, you see what I'm saying? And with parents in the stand, and not even knowing
exactly.
And not even knowing that who you're sitting around. You're talking and you're not even knowing that people family sitting right here by you. So we're gonna come back to that. That's gonna be our next show, ladies, right there. So we know that we're at the end of the show, but I never like to leave without saying one thing to the audience. If you had a mother, child that's in sports, or maybe, what would be your words of encouragement when it comes to fans? Let's keep it simple. When it comes to fans, what would be your words of encouragement to that's probably getting ready to walk our walk?
Stay encouraged, and leave all the negativity right where it is. Mm-hmm. And know that God has a purpose for you and your child, and the walk what he has prepared for you.
Amen.
Just have tough skin. Just have tough skin. Let it roll off your back, whatever they say. Don't take it to heart, and don't feed into the negativity.
Amen. And mine will be, just love on the fans. Just know that they're just as important as well. And just show them some love. Have your kid to show them some love, because as you can see, our kids make sure that that's something that they do, whether they want to or not. Again, we have raised some amazing young men, and we truly, truly thank God for our young men and each and every one of you for tuning in here with us, or It Had to Happen for the NFL moms, mothers of motivated sons. Listen, y'all seen it here, and continue to watch, and we'll be back before you guys, not this Monday, but not next Monday, but the following Monday. We will be back before you guys. And listen, we're going to talk about the mothers in the stands, or maybe the family sitting around and not even knowing that they have the family in the stands. So that definitely will be something great to hear and know that, again, we're sharing our experiences, and what other way to do it to encourage someone if we not only walk the walk, guys. We truly do love here at It Has to Happen. Let's go ahead and send them out with some virtual hugs, guys, and some virtual love. Because, guys, we love you here at It Had to Happen, and we can't do this without you. And y'all, we're official. We're NFL moms, mothers of motivated sons, and we're official, lady. So God bless you. Until next time, we'll see you soon. Meet me back here on tomorrow at 5:30 for an hour of power with the Bishop Kenny Berry and the beautiful Satara J. And look at here, y'all. We have the first lady and the only lady on here for the NFL moms. It's Melissa Berry. But do meet us back here tomorrow, God's willing, at 5:30. We'll love to have you. God bless each and every one of you. Until next time, bye-bye.
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 Erica's Empowering Empire. 88 Blessings Soar Movement. It had to happen in a beauty so rare. We'd love for you to join us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, It Had to Happen with Erica Wilson. Following our social media.